Namaste, fist bump. Welcome to this video. This video is on the 1-day fat loss experiment, and this is a follow-up video to video I did a couple of years ago, which was a Lumen experiment, which was a 4-day fat loss thing. So it's the same protocol, but we're just doing it again. So let me just run through what the protocol is and where it's kind of based on. And I do have a ebook on this. The link will be in the description box as well. We'll a bunch of other links with discount codes, etc. So in this video, how much fat can you lose in 1 day? So there's one ultimate thing that you really need to consider, and it's energy in, energy out, or mass in, mass out. You don't build your body out with nothing. You have to build it out with the food you eat. So in order to lose the maximum amount of fat in 1 day, you have to specifically target fat, because when you create a calorie deficit, you can either burn glycogen, muscle tissue, which are kind of to the carbohydrate end, and you can also burn fat, specifically body fat. So the protocol that I followed was I got up in the morning, I had 1.5 coffees with full fat milk, because I just enjoy that, and I don't like black coffee on my tummy because it upsets my tummy. And that's all I had. And then I just went out and walked for a bunch of time. If I keep looking down here, it's because I got my phone and I'm gonna throw up a few pictures. So I went out and we walked for about 6 hours. So you're going out walking because you want to do a low intensity activity that's kind of targeting fat. I spent the last couple of years building up my zone 2, so walking for me should be primarily fat loss, and the only way you can really test this is by having a kind of metabolic device like a Lumen or a big metabolic cart. There's another one called Pone, but that's $5,000. So Lumen is your cheaper option, and you can see what's going. Lumen will tell you what's happening in your body, not what should be happening. So what should be happening in mine is I should be lowering my number and moving into fat burn. And if that's not happening, something's happened. It's too strenuous to you. It's too hard for you. Going out and walking for 6 hours is no light task. And doing it fasted is borderline silly for a lot of people. I'm okay with that. We had backup plans. I've done it before, so I was good with that. Something that you need to consider. So I'm going to start popping up pictures on the screen and we shall talk about them. So here is from my Whoop, and this is the morning off. So I'm 93% recovery. My HRV is 175, which is good to high for me. So I'm good to go on the walk. Firing a cup of coffee. Starbucks is not a sponsor of this video. Selection of shoes, Freet shoes. I love barefoot shoes, so I have a selection of Freet shoes. I went with the Feldum, which is my favorite shoe to go walking in. It's nice and I should say that my weight in the morning was 102.10. So here is the Apple Watch data. So 5 hours 49. I lied when I said it was 6 hours, sorry. So active calories is 1,400. Total calories is 2,200. I'm just not rounding those down. Compared to what the Whoop says, I burnt 1,300 on the walk. So Apple Watch and Whoop, pretty close together. They're pretty close together on walks, but on cycling, they're miles apart. Whoop will say I burned 80 calories cycling, where Apple Watch will be 120, and the Concept 2 monitor will be closer to what the Apple Watch says. I really like the Whoop calories. I prefer to be on the lower end, so I really like the Whoop calories, and the calories will come in important in the overall weight loss and what happened in a minute. And I measured on Lumen. So in the morning, I was a 4, which was unusually high for me, but I'd done a boost day the day before as a bit of an experiment, and I just overshot things and went crazy. So anyway, after the 5 hour, 49-minute walk, I measured a 1 on Lumen, which is freaking awesome. And also, something really important to note here that I didn't really mention is you do this on low calories for the whole day, but you want to keep your protein fairly high. I undershot my protein altogether, so I had 19 grams of carbs, 37 grams of fat, and 133 grams of protein. I would like that protein to be closer to 160, 170, 200 grams. 1 gram per pound of body weight, even 3 grams per pound of body weight is something you should really be ideally shooting for. But as my Lumen measured a 1, which is mostly fat, I don't think I've lost any muscle tissue from doing this walk, where someone else, if you're 2, 3, 4, you might be losing muscle tissue. So let's check my whoop this morning. So my whoop this morning, I am absolutely freaking wrecked. My respiratory rate is up. My resting heart rate is up from 47 on whoop to 55. And my HRV is down to 89, which is, I'm generally never under the hundreds on HRV. So that was a bit pants. Although I feel fine this morning. My feet are sore from the walk because I just haven't been doing that many steps leading up to it. So that's a kind of overview of the 1 day fat loss experiment. So the question is, how much fat did I lose? And I'll fire up this picture here. This is from an app called Happy Scale that kind of works out your average weight. You can also use Apple Health to work out your average weight. I will make a video on average weight one day because I think it's a really important thing. So as I said previously, my weight was 102 kilos, 0.1 in the morning, but my average weight is really 101.5. And now this morning, my average weight is 101.2, even though my actual weight is 101 dead. And roughly, if we do the maths on the calories, so I consumed about 900 calories and I burnt about 3,000 calories. If I pop up a calculator here, and that's 280 grams of fat lost. Which is right about what the scale or the average weight is saying. So that's pretty cool. Is it worth it for the walk? Well, now my metabolism is pissed off at me. It's lowered my HRV. It's going to lower my motivation. I've already woke up this morning and I'm like, ooh, I really want one of these chocolatey hot coffee things in the morning, which I've not had. But my appetite will undoubtedly increase today and my calorie burn will go down. So it's something to be aware of. If you're aware of this, you can handle it. If you just do the walk and you're unaware, you'll just regain that weight almost instantly. Anyway, so that's my 1 day fat loss experiment. Check out the 4-day protocol in the description box. And thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe and all that. And thanks for watching. Quick interjection. So you might be like, oh, but Angus, you say you lost like 250 grams, but your weight loss was actually over a kilo. It was a kilo 0.1. Most of that is water weight. The actual fat loss is about the calories burned. So I expect to regain some of that water weight, but that 250 should be off. And if I control my calories, they should remain off. So just because you get a massive weight loss on the scale doesn't necessarily mean that it's all fat loss, and the same goes the other way around. If you have a massive weight gain, it doesn't mean it's all fat. You really need to be keeping an eye on the calories in and the calories out, and the calories out is at best a guesstimation.